Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe how quickly weeks go by. I think doing something like this once a week just makes it so apparent that time flies. Hi, Karen. Good morning, Ellen. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Ellen. So, hi, Michael. Hi, Anita. Hi, Debbie. Hope everybody's doing well, enjoying this kind of summerish time. I feel like, I love summertime. Hi, Anita. Did I say hi, Anita? I can't remember. Hi, Carol Ann. So I finished my show at Rittenhouse this past weekend. It was amazing. I met so many wonderful people, so many new collectors. Hi, Susie. And the wonderful problem is that I sold so many of all my paintings that I've got to really hit the ground running and get a lot of artwork done before my next show, which is in a month. And, it takes a long time for oil paints to dry. So I feel a little bit under the gun. I keep wanting, this part of my life. Hi, Barb. Hi, Laura. Is that I don't want this to be work, but sometimes a little bit of that feeling kind of creeps in when I feel pressure of things. But sometimes a little pressure is not bad. So I painted this yesterday, and I'm super excited about it. I think it's the first time I've done, what is it called when you paint wet into wet? I always forget what that's called, but where I could begin and finish a painting in one sitting. Because I could focus, I had enough, I spent the time and did it. So I'm really happy with it. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Carol. So anyway, long story short, it's peony season. So I just had to paint a peony this morning. I got the most gorgeous peonies. Let me turn this around here. Alla prima, that's right. Thank you. Now we still see this thing. Oh, well. I get new equipment. It still isn't quite what I want, but I guess nothing's perfect. There, that's a little bit better. So I got peonies at the market in Philadelphia, and the photos, I thought they were like light pink, and honestly, I should have bought 12 bouquets of them, but I was so distracted with everything else I was doing that, there, is that better? Yeah, that's better. That I only bought one, and they honestly, in the beginning, when I got them, were like pale pink, and now they've turned into white, which is fine, but I really wanted pale pink, but I love them. So, oh, good, Gloria. I think that this will be a good exercise in painting whites, which is always tricky, and I'm always learning. And I think I might do one of these large as maybe my next big painting that I do. I'm not sure. I had to order a lot new art supplies too, which is, so fun. So, hi, Martha. I think I'm going to let this one go a little toward pink and this a little more toward yellow. So I'm going to do that as my base colors. So yeah, it was a great show. Always exhausting, but I love this, Helen, it's 6x8. And I sold out of so many of my 6x8s that I almost have none left. So I've got to do a lot more of my smalls too. Which I love doing, so it's not a big deal. I love doing all of it. The painting part is still my favorite part of it. Actually, sitting down and painting. It's good. That's my favorite part. That's the most important part, right? If you don't have that, you can't do any of it. But what a wonderful show. I'm honored to be part of the Rittenhouse Square show because it's really so many amazing artists there. Oh, yes, I'm getting better. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember names. I always say, there were people that came to see me, too, at the show, and I am terrible with names. But with faces and places, I'm amazing. I'll give myself an amazing on that one. So if I've met you, I will probably almost 100% remember your face. And if I go somewhere, I can remember a place. Like I can get myself to places I was when I was a kid just by remembering what things look like. I think that's that visual part of probably all a little bit like that. It's a visual thing, places and faces. Right? I guess that all totally makes sense. I'm going to try to be a little reckless crazy here with my colors too. I want to be a little chunky, a little not so precious is what I'm going to try to do. Yes, I stayed. We got an Airbnb and stayed over. We set up Thursday. So we stayed in Philly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And ate at some fabulous restaurants. And that part of it's always fun. It's a little bit of green right there. Yeah, places and faces. I can't remember names, though. I'm getting better, especially when your name on here isn't your name in real life. And I've never met you. But I get better with that. So I need to make kind of I'm going to do that black. I'm just going to go reckless crazy. I'm going purple in the background. I said that I want to do it. I'm doing it. I'm just going to... just be crazy with this. Because I've got nothing to lose. That's what I always tell everybody. So I'm going to listen to my own good morning advice. So yes, those people who set up and tear down art shows and do that, like my Julia, who was next door to me at the show, and I can't think of her name right now, but I will. She's amazing. She's been on the road, what'd she say, for 14 weeks or something. She was in Texas, Florida, I think, like all over the United States selling her art. She sets up her tent by herself, does all the stuff, and then she got all kinds of, and then she'll go home, and she lives in New Hampshire, and she'll paint commissions and get all that stuff going, and won't do a little bit of blue. Won't do another show now till Rittenhouse in the fall. But like I admire that. I don't know that I could do that. But she said she was away from home so long that she didn't even know if she was looking forward to being home, because she was kind of used to being on the road. She gets energy from being with people. Yes, a lot of art. No kidding, Carolyn. I know. I thought, how does she keep up with all of that? Julia. I can't think of her last name. Darn it. And she has a really cool, funky style, too. All right, that's pretty messy and crazy. Now I'm going to put the lid on and do some pigment sticks. So, mention the name of the color. So this is mostly Dioxazine Violet, Permanent Rose, Indian Yellow, Manganese Blue Hue, and Sap Green. Pretty much what I have going on here. Glad I knew that answer. For anyone in my Inspiring Art group today, we're going to do a painting using an unusual set of primary colors. And for me, and it's just can be an unusual for you. So I'm going to do a painting, see how it goes, but I'm going to use Hansa Yellow, Quinacridone Magenta, and Phthalo Blue. Those are colors I rarely have in my palette. So it is fun to experiment like that. Do different things. It's messy. Look how messy that is. You can tell when I'm working on big paintings like I was So I have to clean that off by taking that paper off of there. Cleaning it a little bit. When I work on a big painting, all my supplies get a little messy. I think I just get so caught up in what I'm doing. I think that's paper in there. Sorry, there's a little, I still didn't get it off, but I have enough for now. I'm going to try to keep this kind of, see, they're all messy. I need to clean them all up. I'm sorry, did I miss anything here? Watercolors, these are oil paints. Yeah, transparent oils, but thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. Put this live on Instagram. It is, yep. Live on Instagram. I always think about doing one like on YouTube, the same kind of thing, but I just can't quite get around to it. Too many things on my plate. But they're all fun things. All those drippies in there, aren't they fun? I do want to keep some of that chunky stuff happening. Did I miss any? Oh, this lighter color, I don't have any. That's nice and messy. Extremely messy. I need a sip of my coffee. What's everybody having today? Coffee or tea? Having my coffee. I forgot to fill it back up. Okay, so I'm looking to see what I need. This is oil paint. So I really need whites. I need dark gray and some greens. It's pretty simple palette, right? All right, let me pull this down here. And get my palette knife. I'm going to put a little bit of this cinnabar green out here. I use this in my painting behind me, and I love how it looks. This is a Williamsburg color. You could mix this by using like lemon yellow and sap green kind of, but I love sometimes to have a color like that. So I really should make like that dark gray color that's in the background. I think I'm going to put out a little bit of, if I can find it here in front of me, of torrid gray. Because that's kind of what that is. It's a little bit of a warmer version of the torrid gray. Do you need me?
Nope. I don't know.
So all I did was added a little bit of that transparent brown into that. And that's, I'm just going to put a touch of magenta in there too. Sometimes when you use a color like that and you just add a little bit extra in it, makes it a little richer. Well, Ellen, that is purple in the background, and some of that will show through a little bit, but I go more with the colors that I see in the painting then on top, just to kind of, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm explaining. Like, you'll see what I mean. Like, I want the color to show through the purple that I have in the background, but I don't want that to be the color that I paint on top. I let the crazy happen underneath. I maybe need to go a little bit lighter with that. It's still not light enough. Yeah, I'm going wild today. Definitely. This is still going to be a little reckless crazy. I can't decide what I want. I'm going to put a little bit of this in there. I want to lighten it, and I want it to go, I think I want to keep it warm. Yeah, that, no, I still don't like that. Let me put a little, I don't know what it is. I'm just not quite getting it. I guess I want it cool. I can't decide what I want. This happens sometimes. I'll put this in there. So much of the painting is this color, like it's an important part of it. There we go. That's getting where I want it. Okay. Do you go live? I go just on Wednesday mornings. I go live at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Every week. I've been doing it for a long time. I should check back to see how long I've been doing this. Jane McGee Art said, good morning, Kim. What color brand is the blue just below the yellow on the left? This one? That is, I use this a lot as kind of a mixing color. It is called Old Holland Gray. No, wait, here's another one of the same. Old Holland Violet Gray. They're the same tube. I love that color. So now I need to make a few whites. I'm actually going to put some white out here. I'm going to do a warm and a cool white. So I'm going to add some, this kind of warm white color. And then I'll use that gray color, that gray, violet gray, to make a cool white. Go a little bit darker with both of those. Sherry says, my friend posted a photo of the most beautiful bouquet of peonies the other day, and she's given me permission to paint it. I cannot wait to get started. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. Yes, I love when people let you use their photos for painting reference, because it's hard for artists to like have the time to take photos and do all of the things. So that is a blessing. Put that background color into that. The whites, yes, it is good to like kind of think about what, because really whites are not really white. There's so many colors in there. So I kind of have a warm version, the brights, and I could do one more white. Let's do, what should I do? Maybe I'll do this, because I love this Video Blue Extra Pale. That's an even cooler white. And the bottom background, I could use really any of those. More of a gray white. And then my shadow color could be similar to the background. So that might be all I need. Let me just keep it pretty true white. I think that's good. I think that's all I need. We'll see how this works. The palette is a piece of marble. Oh, thank you. Yep. Like from Home Depot, or yeah, when you buy, I bought, it's from, sample at a store for countertops, or you can get them too. I have another one that when I took and did my workshop, it's from Amazon, and it's a cutting board. Get back up here. Okay, this is the fun part. I'm excited to dive in here. Get that close enough that you can see both. I'm using a big chunky brush. And I usually start in with my dark colors. Did I miss any comments, guys? Trader Joe's. Yeah, I did get some peonies at Trader Joe's, but like the buds didn't open. Gosh, the ones that I got at Rittenhouse Square were just stunning. Like I didn't mix a green. Let me just pull out a little bit of green. Sorry, forgot about my greens. Stunning. Like I wish I bought tons of them, but I didn't. Yes, the palette's very heavy. And you don't need to use that. I just like it because it is heavy. It stays put. I've been using that kind of palette for quite some time. I really want to keep my chunky strokes in here. Good morning, George. I'm kind of carving out around petals. That dark is so dramatic. Some chunky pieces. Sometimes pieces of the pigment stick. Chunky pieces end up on there that you have to kind of keep clean off. So the purple's back there, kind of just as a foundation color, and when your brush goes over it kind of picks up a bit of it. In some spots it may peek through, but it kind of just gives a wet place to put your paint down to. It tints the whole thing to that color, the whole painting. Hope that makes sense, Helen. It's just sort of the way I've been playing around with painting and pushing that envelope a little bit because I love how it looks. I love the spontaneity of the color showing through a little bit in the background. Like I love the drama of how that looks. I want to keep it very simple. I'm thinking about what I want to do next. It seems like I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of looking at my painting. I think maybe I'll go ahead and put the color down the bottom. Put some of this. So whatever color you have underneath, when you're painting, it picks up some of that. That has that manganese blue hue back there. I want to do very intentional brush strokes and not fuss with it too, which I always say that, but it's never easy. I want to go in there and get that vase looking like a vase right now, but I want it to be loose. So I'm trying not to. I do need to get rid of that little bit of white. Okay. So what's everybody having this morning, coffee or tea? need a sip of my coffee. All this drippy has my little bit of, it's going onto the side of my panel here. I have to clean it off. So I paint the side of my panel with gold, and it's fine, like, to leave it like that, but I always clean it off a little because when I go to photograph my painting at the end, I'll get it all over my hands. Oh, the Learn to Paint podcast. Oh, that's so fun. I did that so long ago. Yes, I do have that interview. I know I should probably listen to it and see what I said. That seems like a million miles ago. That's a great podcast. She always has great interviews. This shadow is too dominant there, so I'm going to take a little bit of the color that I made for the background and make it a little more neutral. It's still a little dominant. Is that better? I'm not sure. I think I need a little something darker in here. All right, maybe I'll go with a little bit of my whites here. Lemonade from Chick-fil-A. Oh, that's fun. Spice and Tea Exchange. Cinnamon orange tea from Florida trip. Oh, Ellen, that sounds yummy. Oh, is that how you found me? That's so funny, that Learn to Paint podcast, Fruit Punch. I should try and get on some more podcasts. That'd be fun. It's called the Learn to Paint podcast. Her name fell out of my head, like I just said. I remember places and faces. I can picture her perfectly, but I can't think of her name right now. Why is that? It's Kelly. I don't know. Can anybody help me? Does anybody know what that is? Mary Eileen and your mushroom coffee. I've got to try that one of these times. I want to try the mushroom coffee. Now, see, I'm going to try just put down brush strokes. That picked up what's underneath there. Kellyanne Powers. Thank you, Michael. There's a link to it in my bio here on Instagram. I think so. I might have even done that pre-COVID. That was probably 2 years ago. Yeah, I wonder if anything I said in there came true. If I talked about anything I wished would happen. It's always interesting to write things like that down. See if your wishes come true. They usually do. Excuse me. I think I need more coffee. Where's everybody from? I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I need to mix a little more white, lighter whites here. Central Iowa, Michigan, Iran, Mannheim. Janice is from Mannheim, right near me. Ottawa, Canada, Alberta, Canada, Ohio. Mary Eileen's in Charleston, Ontario, Canada, Woodstock, Connecticut. Someone was just talking to me about an art show in near Woodstock, I think. Wyoming, Katy, Texas, Mary Ann's from Long Island, Australia, Connecticut. Oh, and we don't have our Allie for the Soul. She's busy teaching her workshop in Hawaii right now. Like, how exciting is that? Looks like she's having a great time. How could she not? Indiana, Montana, Fairhaven, Massachusetts. Fairhaven, Massachusetts. Okay. Minnesota, Pensacola, Florida. Reading, Anita's in Reading. South Carolina. Boston, Mannheim. Yeah, that's a great little coffee shop in Mannheim now. Now, Janice, your family's the family that does the strawberries, right? The Myers family strawberries. Right? Am I right? Oh, I love that little bit of, see how that purple in there kind of glows? This is exactly kind of what I'm aiming to do, is letting it like glow like that. I love it. But they retired, so there are no strawberries there anymore. I think strawberry season's going to come and go so quickly. I'm trying to eat as many as I can. Which app are you using for your photos to paint from? Well, I grid them with an app called Grid Hashtag. Really pretty. No, okay. Yeah, that is sad. Always pretty fun picking strawberries next to that covered bridge. You live right by that, don't you, Janice? My mom will be 81. It was time to be done farming. Yes, I'm sure. That's a hard life to do that. And good for her for doing it as long as she did. That's what I thought. I thought you lived right near that. So I know Janice, she took one of my in-person classes here. And she probably, what do you probably live like 5 miles from me, maybe less? What do we think? Is that too much crazy happening in the background there, or just the right amount? I kind of like it. Kind of like it a lot. It's very close by. Another in-person workshop. I just have to figure out where to have it. I'm always saying that. I just can't quite. The answer just hasn't come. Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it, Mary Eileen? I'm loving it. Like, this is what I'm always aiming for with my paintings. It just takes so much practice. It always, to me, looks so simple, but it's almost the complete opposite of simplicity. Well, it is simple. It's hard to achieve it simply. I think I need a little white in. Well, I'm going to do a little right there. Yes, I need to do another one, don't I, Anita? I should even maybe do a sleepover one. I love the one that we did in Connecticut because we were all together and it was just really magical to kind of stay overnight and hang out after we were finished painting. Although we did that here, we went out to dinner, right? The one that I did right near here. If only I could just make this exact same painting huge. Why couldn't I, right? Down here in this a little bit. 836. That was so much fun. Yes, Judy, maybe that's what we do need to do. We need to do it at your place. You've mentioned that to me more than 100 times, I think. Why don't we just make that happen? Maybe in the fall. Speaking of brushes, so I had written to Rosemary and Company, and this is the brush that it looks like yellow peonies. Yes. Oh, Michael, I'd love to have some of your photos. So this is the brush they suggested. It's a Rosemary and Company Series 222, and it's similar to this. So I had one that's like this is 3-inch. I used the 2-inch brush on the painting behind me, and I loved it. So that might be that solution that I've been looking for to be able to paint with a large brush that's more similar to this feel. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that I don't know if it was Rosemary herself, but it sure seemed like it got back to me with that answer. And then it took me a while till I bought them. Yeah, so the cool thing is that I just mixed a few colors and really it's all coming together by what's underneath more than what I'm doing on top. Yes, I'm so glad I found a bigger brush. That was such a challenge for me because I just couldn't get the same feel, but I still use this a lot. The same one, my favorite brush, but I was really happy with it. The other hard thing of painting large is when you paint large like that, your brush gets so full of paint that it takes forever to wash it out. That's the lazy me coming out. Like I don't want to clean a brush for a half an hour. My dad was a painter and a paper hanger by trade, and I remember him standing when he would get home from work at the end of the day. He would be standing in our garage at the sink, at the utility sink, and he would wash brushes for what seemed like forever. And little did I know that I would be doing that too, only my painting is a lot more fun to do. Yeah, I think it was Rosemary herself too. I know, that's so cool. Oops. I don't know if I like the shape here. No, I think that's okay. Let me get a little bit of this. That's too, something's the matter there. I need to have this kind of, the background color shows through the glass there a little bit. And I'm getting a little too precious in this area. I don't want to be so precious. So I need to just put down some brush strokes and leave them, not fuss with them. The colors popped. Yes, I love that. Letting all that spontaneity show. Oh my goodness, so pretty. There's actually gray back here. And I think I'm close to finished because I'm going to start to fuss with it too much. I think I want this. To be a little lighter in here. Sometimes I spend more time fussing with the background than making the painting itself. Oh, thank you, Mary Eileen. I just need a little highlight or two in there. I'm fussing. Now that's that part where I always say once you're working on something, the top rim of the vase right here is what I need. And where would that be? Right about? Yeah, maybe that's what I was missing. There's some reflection in here. That helped, didn't it? Now is that green leaf is a little chunky right there. Let me just do this tiny little bit of in there and do a couple little pops of highlight, and then I need to stop. I think that's good. I think anything else I do is going to mess it up. So I'm going to sign it. So it's that thing of not fussing too much. No, wait, I need a little bit of this bright pink. Of not fussing with something too much that's so hard. It's like I keep seeing things I could do or change, but then it pushes it too far, and then it loses some of the spontaneity. All right, that's good. No more fussing. All right, and I love that softness. So there's my reference image. And then, so those are just really intentional, chunky brush strokes, but I love like the underneath colors showing through in there. And then my very simple palette, I just had the background colors and a couple of whites, and I did put a little bit of green out there that I didn't have before. So just like that, how fun. So thanks guys for coming and hanging out with me. I will put this up. It'll be on YouTube if you want to watch it again, and on my website too. And yeah, go listen to my thing on the Learn to Paint podcast. That's a great podcast just to subscribe to and listen to. I love that. I listen to a lot of podcasts in the morning when I'm painting. So bye, Gail. Thank you, Janice. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll do this again next week. And anyone in my Inspiring Art group, I'll see you at 11 o'clock. So thanks very much. See you soon.